Hey guys, it's Johnny Lamb coming to you, actually from my living room right here today. Yeah, I decided to make a video here, and it says, "What have I done?" Right? And here's the deal. You know, part of the reason I make these videos is to encourage you guys in your dreams, to encourage you what you know that you're called to do and you're supposed to do, and so forth. So I'm hoping and praying that you join me in this journey. Because I'll be honest with you, a guy who is from North Carolina, who basically is a hayseed all his life, raised very poor and so forth, and then God brings him along and starts raising him up and says, "You're called to be a billionaire with a capital B," sounds nuts. But you know what? When you read the stories inside of the Bible and so forth, it's not so nuts. It's not so nuts. And bear with me, guys. I got a notification there. But you know what? You can read that later. I'll just share this with you. I was reading today in Deuteronomy, and it's the whole thing about the recount of God sending the Israelites into the promised land. And, basically he sent out, 12 spies, God did, through Moses and the people, and they voted and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. And anyway, 10 spies came back and said, "It ain't going to work. This ain't cool. We can't go into this promised land. We don't have any wherewithal and all that." But there was 2 spies, and one of them was Caleb, that said, yes, we can. We can do this. We can do this. Through God, through G-D God. And at any rate, that's what I'm finding out. And I'm sure as you're walking out your calling and your destiny, you're finding out, as well. It's not an easy thing, but you know what? With God, it is possible. As I mentioned before, one of my favorite authors of all time is Mike Murdoch. God bless you, Mike, if you're watching this. And he tells a story of he just knew that he was called to much, much more than what he was doing. And anyway, he was a very poor guy, and he had a certain amount of money, and he got some money came in or something like that. It's like $5,000. And he didn't have any food, and he was at home. He was by himself. He didn't have anybody, no friends, all that stuff. And God spoke to him, and he said, "Hey, you need to sow that $5,000, and then I'll bless you." And he's like, "What?" It's crazy. What? And at any rate, God told him to send the $5,000. And when he told him to send sow the $5,000, he felt this just like pit, down in his stomach. Like, what has he done? What has he done? He screwed up and all this stuff. And he found out that he didn't screw up, because there was a guy who came up to him inside a church that night. And when this guy came to him, he said, "Hey, I've got this very, very rare sports car, and God told me to give it to you tonight." So he signed it over to him for, I think, like $1 or something like that. Mike, I don't think he had the dollar, and he just kind of said, "I don't have the dollar." And the guy said, "Don't worry about it, just pay me later," something like that. Anyway, he signed it over to him as a very, very rare sports car, only a few made in the world. And he was able to take that car, I believe, and sell it and have a huge amount of money, like $80,000 or $85,000. And this was not contrived. This was not thought about. This was not brought about. This was not made up. It's just something that God sovereignly did, as Mike was obedient. Mike was obedient. Well, you know what, guys? I kind of feel like Mike today. I feel like, God told me to do change.org. Go check it out, change.org. Make the Empire State Building a hotel. And when you do it, it says send it out to the people that are decision makers. So one of them would be, I believe, Donald Trump. And the other would be Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York City. And the other would be, trying to think, Anthony Machin, who is the actual owner of the Empire State Building. And I actually felt the wind of the Lord. I felt the wind and the grace of the Lord to be able to do it and to write up what I've done. So go check it out, change.org. Make the Empire State Building a hotel. And if you feel like this is really resonating with your heart, sign the petition and let's get this thing going. We need, and so forth. But I tell you what, I just have that pit in my heart, in my stomach today. Did I do what's right? So I prayed about it, and I said, Lord, what's the deal? And he said, yes, I want to shine my name out there on change.org for my glory. And Johnny, this isn't about you. It's about my glory. It's about who I am. It's not about your skill or your skill set or who you are. And that's to encourage you guys in your dream, as well. It's not about you. It's about others. And it's about him. And so I'm just sharing with you guys heart to heart today. And God just encouraged me. And he said, nope, you don't need to get depressed. You don't need to get discouraged or bummed out. You did the right thing. And just keep trusting me. Now I have to go to the next level, guys. And that's where I just call out to the intercessors watching this. I've asked the intercessors to join me. And if you're an intercessor, you feel called to this, you're a Christian, you love the Lord, and you want Jews and Christians to come together, in this case, in a beautiful, massive business motif for the kingdom, then get a hold of me at bit.ly or bit.ly, bit.ly/Johnny Lamb. And, let's get going. And I'm going to form an intercessory board and so forth. So, it's really interesting. Here's another story, too. You might know VeggieTales and the creator, Phil Vischer. I actually went to school with him. Hi, Phil, if you're watching this. And he tells a story right before he was just going to give up everything. I mean, just give up everything and just call it kaputs and say, this isn't working and I got to do something else. I'm talking about his idea for VeggieTales. There was a guy, I guess he was at his church in, some big church in Chicago with Bill Hybels. And anyway, he was sharing the story and all this stuff. He was about to give up. And there was a guy there who said, hey, I would like to support that. I would like to support that idea. And from then on, it just took off. The rest is history. So, I'm just going to that point of I need your intercession. I need your prayers. There's even whisperings, from the enemy saying, give up, this is crazy and all this stuff. And I've even had some kind of stuff out there trolling or taunting or whatever you want to call it, on social media, social media saying, oh, this is crazy. But then I got other people saying, wow, this is really cool, go for it and stuff. So, but more than that, I have him. I have the king. I have the king who has told me to do this, and I'm going after it with all my heart. So, if you feel led to be an intercessor, get a hold of me, bit.ly, bit.ly. There's a notification up there. And /Johnny Lamb. And if you want to join the business team, that I'm forming and so forth, get a hold of me at the same website and let's move forward. Hey guys, I appreciate your time. I hope this encourages you heart to heart, and just go forward and trust the Lord, the Lord God of Israel, with everything that he's given you to be able to move forward and go forward in your dreams. Hey, on a side note, as the Lord has called me to be a billionaire for his glory, one of the things I love to do to be able to keep in front of me, and this will encourage you too as well, so whatever God's called you to do, keep what's in front of you constantly in front of you, constantly in front of you. And like one of my hearts, and you'll see it on my Pinterest if you check out my Pinterest, but you'll see that I love luxury fast cars. And so recently I've been watching all these videos about beautiful cars and so forth, like Maseratis and Lamborghinis and what are they? Paganis and Ferraris and LaFerrari. I didn't even know there was LaFerrari until a few days ago, whatever. At any rate, Lotuses, which is one of the things that's really dear to my heart. Anyway, I keep that in front of me to remind me of God's call in my life. And if you have issues about Christians having money and so forth and being a billionaire for the kingdom, get over it quick and fast. Because if you look inside of the Bible and you see about King Solomon and stuff, you will change your mind really quick and real fast in regards to how God uses wealth for the advancement of his kingdom. So, you guys be encouraged, be blessed. G-D bless you. Pray for me. I'm getting ready to make a video on the change.org site. I'm planning on doing that tomorrow. And then releasing that. So go with God. Be blessed. G-D bless you. Shalom. And we'll talk to you later. And all right, this is Johnny talking, and sayonara. All right, God bless you guys. Bye now.